Honeypot 6 is just a few days away and is looking to be an incredible clash between regions in Ultimate, Melee, Project Plus, and of course, HDR. So we're going to break down the incredible talent going into this event and who might just come out on top of one of the largest HDR events of all time. I'm 22 James and welcome to the HDR Report. As always, if you want to support the HDR Report, all you have to do is watch this video to the very end. If we're going to talk about who's going to walk away with the gold at HP6, you would be crazy to not have Frozen in the conversation. The recently crowned #1 in Tri-State is the most decorated HDR player in the country right now, with first place finishes at numerous majors such as Gigaton Hammer, the Tri-State HDR exclusive regional Meteor, and the current largest HDR event of all time, Warp Zone 2. HP6 might just take that title though, with over 60 entrants already and signups available at the door. With an extensive history in competitive Smash, Frozen is looking to continue her dominance with another fantastic win. But she might just have to watch her back in bracket while in the heart of the Midwest, especially after her last trip to Illinois. It's no secret that Chicago HDR is looking for their run back after Frozen hit them with some post-victory Twitter jabs. So we'll see if a fired up Chi-Town can turn the tables this time around. And speaking of which, let's talk about one of the strongest Midwest regions that have a shot to knock Frozen off her throne. Chicago is rolling deep yet again at this installment of Honeypot, but for the first time at an HDR major, they'll have their full big three in attendance. Ozma and Raven King have become household modded Smash names over the last year with numerous top 3 performances as well as a pair of major wins between them. Raven King at the start of the year with Frosty Faustings 15, and Ozma finally getting his dues at Undertow 2023.
We got last night! Oh my god! He is like Iowa wins the Pop 2023!
While both of them are looking to continue their hot streaks, I'm sure they have their hearts really set on getting Frozen back for sweeping both of them at Warp Zone 2. The wild card they might need is Frosty, who's finally chosen Honeypot 6 to be his first HDR major. Being ranked #3 locally, he's taken names off of everyone in the region. The big question for Frosty going into this event is if he's going to be able to keep up with his Midwest peers on the big stage. Some of the usual Chicago suspects will also be in attendance like Snesses and Terrion, both who had great showings at Warp Zone 2 and the last Honeypot. Sending reinforcements in the battle to defend the Midwest is Nebraska, which has been one of the most active Midwest states for HDR over the past year. Much like Chicago, NE is bringing an unprecedented numbers of PR players to a major event, with a goal to show off why they're one of the best out. Their roster includes the Snake with many names, HDK, who will be defending the crown he earned at Honeypot 5 over Ozma. Pete Weber / Rusty Shackelford / Hot Dog Night 409 will be joined by Gunther, the current #1 in both NE HDR and P+. Earlier in the year, the former roommates both secured top 6 finishes at Frosty Faustings 15 and are looking to have their first dance with Tri-State's finest. Leading the rest of the battalion is YGL, who stunned the crowd with his DDD at the last Honeypot, leading to a 3rd place finish with wins over most of Chicago's top talent. Bringing up the rear is players like Gremlin Man and 22 James, hey that's me, who both have impressive out-of-state wins and placements over fellow Midwest talent and could easily sneak into this top 8. Finally, Nebraska's secret weapon is the up-and-coming Blood, who had a modest run at the last Honeypot but has quickly risen to top 3 locally and now wants to show off his incredible growth. Outside of the Midwest's already notable cast of characters from Illinois and Nebraska, we can expect to see some hidden bosses that have been lurking in other notable regions across the cornfield. My HDR Report brother Matt is definitely on this list. He had a strong showing at the last Honeypot, as well as other really good out-of-state wins. The wild card with him is you never know what character he's gonna go. He's penned in as an Olimar main, but it sounds like he's been playing a lot of Meat Gunner lately. To the neighboring side of Missouri are the killers in Kansas, namely Gamer Dog and Birthday Ninja, who both almost always make it to grand finals when it's on their own turf. Moving to 2 other silent killers is Jackson and SL Scout. Jackson hails from Wisconsin, is already well known within the realm of Rushdown Revolt, but did really well at a secret Michigan Invitational and dusted everyone in attendance. On the other hand is SL Scout, a DD player who has been making his runs in Oklahoma. Despite not hailing from one of the most popular regions, all of the players on this list can make a really big splash. If you're trying to have an easy ride, these are some gamers you definitely don't want to see in your bracket path.
Honeypot is so stacked that people from all over the globe are wanting to come out. Hell, even Fabs is traveling all the way from the UK just to play. You may see him in the later stages of the bracket commentating, but this man is a menace on the sticks, being currently one of the only active Daisy players currently playing, while also racking up several notable placements in the UK over the past year. Aside from him, there are a few Canadian players coming out to take a swing at the Titan of Tri-State as well, namely Rodgunshu. He's ranked number 6 on the current PM rank and is their strongest HDR player. Rangunchu also sticks to his theme of, I see good sword character and I pick them in this game with his pick of Cloud, but also has a Chrom that's ready to launch at any moment. He's coming into this event with recent placements such as 5th at Randall's Room and 1st over at Supercharged Shots in Ontario. Blitz may currently be in Rangunchu's shadow at locals, being he's only really losing to him, but he and his Cloud can easily be a bracket threat to whoever he finds in his way. They're also bringing Mangachu along with them. If that name sounds familiar to you, then you probably recognize him from either his career in TF2 or his long venture in the Overwatch scene. He was also in attendance for the Secret Big House Hotel Invitational and racked up a number of respectable wins there. Despite how many hurdles these players may face while traveling, we're excited to see how they line up against the staples of the game at their first HGR major. Just like how we love our out-of-country invader friends, we also love our cross-game invader friends equally as much. Out of all these names laid out in front of us, the ones that we should be looking for are Watch and Learn, Star, and Soth. Watch and Learn and Star are by far the most experienced HDR players out of this group, both actually being PR'd in their respective regions. Watch and Learn was seated at the 13th spot on the most recent Tri-State PR, while also clinching a 3rd place finish at Blacklist to date. Star, on the other hand, debuted at the number 7 spot on the most recent edition of the Chicago PR. She also went on a killer run at the last Honeypot. Meanwhile, Soth has yet to enter a bracket for this game. But it seems to be a really common theme for all these established names in the P+ community to come knocking on our doors and trashing our plays. The most notable case of this being Lunchables, who decided to enter the Warp Zone 2 pre-local, the event that he did not even consider signing up for HDR at, and then farmed absolutely everybody without leaving a trace. So considering that fact, scratch everything I just said, any of these players can realistically have a hot day and turn our game into Farmville.